we learn that really early on. To be successful, we have to do that. But we have a team that also requires that same encouragement. Kim, how do you coach your team through particular struggles? When they say to you, you know what, Kim, I'm stuck. I hear all those amazing stories that you told me about, but I'm stuck. I just don't think I can do that. What do you say to them?
It's really important first for me to let them know and let you guys know that we've been there, I've been there. You're normal. You're going to have struggles, you're going to hit walls. It's just part of this business. So I think it's really important for them to understand that it's okay, we've all been there. That's the very first thing I do is it's okay, I've been there, and look what can happen if you push through it.
You're talking about validating that feeling.
Right.
Not pushing it off and saying, get over yourself, just go out there and do it.
This is such an emotional business. You know, you join this business and it's you. You're putting yourself out there, so it can be such a roller coaster. And I think it's important for us as leaders to remember what it was like, because I understand. Somebody would say, yes, and I'm up here, I can do this business, I'm gonna be a millionaire. And then somebody would say, no, and I was down here. I'm a failure, this is never gonna work, why did I do this?
And isn't life that way at times, where you feel like you're on top of the world, you know, you're at the very peak of awesomeness, and then all of a sudden somebody says something or does something happens in your life, it just completely takes you out and you're down here in the valley. That's normal, guys. So coaching through that, you're validating that feeling, you're letting them know what their future looks like. And you know what, you talked a lot about, which I absolutely loved, about you just being who? Kim from Kentucky.
From Kentucky. I got this from you. I'm so normal, it's boring. Like, I'm just Kim from Kentucky. So, you know, if I can do this, you can do this. You've heard that so many times. And what makes the difference is just believing that you can and claiming it. You know, if you claim that and you run after it, there's a book called The Magic of Thinking Big, and you all need to read it. And in that book it says, you know, when you claim this and you believe that big things are going to happen, your actions follow that. So, you know, 2 years ago, Tiffany Cunningham, my president, reminded me of this. 2 years ago, I told her, I said, Tiffany, I'm going to go make $1 million and I'm going to bring you with me. And that's exactly what has happened. You have to claim it. You have to put it out there and then run after it with everything you have. Believe it, or nobody else is going to believe you.
Gosh, I love that. I love it. You are not just Kim from Kentucky. You are an amazing girl. And you know what? You may be, right? She's amazing. And she may be so normal, she calls it boring, but you know what? That's the awesome kind of normal that I like. That's my kind of normal. So I love you. All right, Chad, talk to me a little bit about helping your team and coaching them through struggle. I know your biggest struggle as a brand new distributor, you're talking about like you wasting your time. Like, I don't know that I can give my time to that because I really don't have the time. How can I fit something else into my life? Especially if I'm not really sure it can change my life. So talk to me about how you coach that brand new distributor, or even maybe that distributor that's gotten in, you know, was on a high and now has hit a low. How do you coach them through that?
I think a really important part, because everybody comes into business with hope. You know, we all have that in common when we first join, and it's important to understand the reasons why they join, because inevitably the reasons are going to get into a fight with their excuses, and so the reasons have to be really, really strong. And I think that's all about just building the belief that they have to have strong belief in the product, strong belief in the company, in this industry, and then in themselves, which is the most challenging part, is really just to help people believe in themselves. And one way I look at it, and I think that all you guys up here would agree with me, is that if all of you got a letter in the mail and it said your loved one, you know, your child or your spouse or a parent has been taken, and the only way that you'll ever see them again is if you promote to Double Diamond in the next 90 days, you know, I think all of us we'd put our monthly check up there to just know that you would have no problem accomplishing that, because you would get up early every morning and you would stay up late every night because your reason would be so strong to succeed. And the only difference between anybody that's had a lot of success in this company, anybody that hasn't, is time and activity, and that activity was driven by those strong, strong reasons.
I love that letter analogy, I absolutely love it because it's so true. People that say they don't have the money for things, people that say they don't have the time for things, it's just an excuse. And I know there are struggles, financial struggles. I know there are time struggles. But at the end of the day, it's something that you really, really want. What are you going to do? You're going to go grab it, right? Right, Chad? One thing that I love that you said too is about becoming